What's going on, guys? This is Docs and welcome back to another episode of the Sheffield Wednesday career mode. It's episode number 44. Brilliant start to the season, 40 Owls back-to-back wins. First Sunderland away 4-2 and then a fantastic 3-0 win against Chelsea as well. But I'm keeping my feet squarely and firmly planted on the ground. Last season, if you remember, we had the same kind of start. We were top of the table after a few games, 11 games in, we were only 1 point behind first, I think it was. And then of course we had that ridiculous mid-season slump. We only won 3 games in 15, I think it was. I'm still remembering it now. We won back-to-back in October and then not again until April. So yeah, we've been here before, let's just say that. The question is this time, can we stick to where we are right now? Well, if we're going to do it, then last season taught us a very harsh lesson, and that is you must be consistent if you are to be successful. Our first game of today's episode, travelling away from home, once again facing a West London side, just dispatched of Chelsea, and what a start here away at the GTech as well. And what a start for this man too. Roman Buckley is just on it. 4 goals in 3 games. It was a really nice triangle move. Wheeler to Bailey, Bailey to Buckley, and Buckley to the top corner as Sheffield Wednesday take the early advantage. But he is on it, man. And he was second in assists last season for us and second in assists in the Premier League as well. Oh, as he almost scored a wonderful goal to make it 2-0. He's the real deal, man. Seriously, I'm a big fan of this guy. And I'd say our front four, it's all so good. But even though Buckley is the lowest rated of the 4, I believe, in total, he's the one at times I'm looking at to make the difference. Not Michael Wheeler, but Roman Buckley. But speaking of the former, 12 after the restart, after a really controlled performance, he would get what would be our second goal and his third goal to start the season off. Yet Michael with our second, Sheffield Wednesday 2-0 up, and we'd hold on to it as well. So final score at the GTech, Brentford 0, Sheffield Wednesday 2. But just like I said earlier, keeping our feet on the ground. It's been a fantastic start, but it's a very, and I mean very, long way to go. So following that, transfer deadline day, as we know, can't really do much of our money now, but there was a big bid for Dijon Bernard from Manchester City. He's got 2 years left in his contract, and of course I can bring him off the bench, but now I can't start any non-Sheffield Wednesday Academy graduates. I think this might be the last season we do where I allow myself to bring players off the bench if they're not Sheffield Wednesday Academy graduates. There's nothing in the rule that says that if I want to, I can make 5 subs in 5 minutes and bring on all non-Sheffield Wednesday Academy graduates. That is a way to get around that rule we're playing with, but excuse me, I think what I might do from now is just implement a rule from next season onwards where the only players we can play, never mind start, but the only players we can play have to be Sheffield Wednesday Academy graduates. I think we're ready for it now. I think we're ready to have a full Sheffield Wednesday Academy graduate team. The sad news is that does mean that Svante Ingelsson will probably have to leave. Anyway, the deal fell through because there wasn't enough time, and it was really annoying because the bid came in with like 4 hours to go, and yeah, I've talked about this before, but to me, transfer deadline day in career mode, it really needs a revamp. It's had the same system for over a decade now, well over a decade, where there's 10 hours to go and each advance counts for 1 hour. It's simplistic, I get it, but it's just like, you're telling me that Manchester City, with all their resources, and Dijon Bernard, who now can't start and doesn't start, who's ready to leave, couldn't have completed a deal in 4 hours. Like, I don't know, it's ridiculous, isn't it? But for the following game, though, Manchester United Hillsborough, on the back of 3 straight wins, well, this is why I was keeping my feet on the ground. I really struggled to break the Red Devils down. I tried to catch Senna Lamans out from distance with Chalciku, but couldn't get the shot down. And Benjamin Sesko, who of course scored that very late winner on Sunday afternoon against Fulham, scores a very late winner there against us at Hillsborough as well. Final score, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Manchester United 1, and our run of 3 straight wins in the league and 4 in all competitions comes to an end early. Yeah, this is why I'm not getting too hyped, man. Of course, I would love for us to be a threat for the title this season, but I don't know about that. We ain't even qualified for Europe, so let's just take it in stages, shall we? But for the following game, Preston North End away at Deepdale. And I did say on the back of the win against Northampton Town in the previous round, one thing I really want to do this season is go on a cup run. We haven't had a single proper cup run since the save began. The furthest we've got is the last 16 of the FA Cup, and that was 2 years ago. This year, I want to get to the quarterfinals of either the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup, either of which I do not care, but just once, I want us to get to the last day of the competition. So for the last 32 of the Carabao Cup, taking on Preston North End away at Deepdale, it was a brilliant start. George Hurst gave us our opening goal, and in 28 minutes in, Gui Sekera, who, if you remember, we had in Season 1, we released him, and we brought him back last season. He's just a random squad player we've got, but it's his first goal to save, and it's 2-0 Sheffield Wednesday. So up by 2, 39 minutes in, Preston will get back in the game. Joe Wildsmith really should have stopped that one. Header goes straight past him into the back of the net, but honestly, I know sometimes I can be a bit critical of my goalkeepers at times, but I think I'm right to be critical there. He should be saving that, doesn't get anything on it, and it's Preston back in the game. We tend to play, still leading by 1, looking for a third goal that will wrap the win up and put us through to the next round. I did rest all of my players apart from one, just in case I needed him, and in the end he proved to be worth the selection. Michael Wheeler hits the dagger, 3-1, and that would do it. Sheffield Wednesday into the last 16 of the Carabao Cup. So even though the Carabao Cup doesn't count towards the objectives, I would like to go far in it. And of course, the last competition that Sheffield Wednesday won in real life was, I was found, correct me if I'm wrong here, correct me if I'm wrong if I get the year wrong, but I think it was the 1990. It's between 91 and 92. Ours fans, I know you're all sitting there. You will know the answer. It was either 91 or 92. The League Cup, Sheffield Wednesday won it back then. That was the last time a non-top flight team also won a major domestic competition in England. But can't remember the year. Apologies, ours fans. But within the saves continuation, it's been a long time since then. So I'm not saying we're going to win it, but Brentford at home in the last 16 and a chance to get through to the quarterfinals for the first time in the save. So following game, back to matters in the Premier League, but staying away from home. Nottingham Forest away at the City Ground. Bailey Cadamarteri got us into a very early lead, and then Michael Chalsiku capitalised on a Jordan Pickford error. Coming for a cross, getting caught in no man's land, and the Kenyan midfielder gets his second goal of the season already. So Sheffield Wednesday, 2 goals for the City Ground. Looked as though we were going to return to winning ways here, but just like against Preston, had a 2-goal lead, then let it slip. Forest back in the game, half in the deficit, and with 18 minutes to go, just trying to close out and grind out the 3 points here, and a return to winning ways in the Premier League. Pierce Charles could have done better with his shot, I think there. Shot comes in, gets down to his down low, I should say, to his left-hand side, but parries it straight back into open play. The worst place you can parry it as a goalkeeper, and Forest capitalise, turning the rebound and make it 2-2. One last chance to spare our blushes and win it. Myers to Cadamarteri, rolls through Buckley. I thought to continue his sensational start to the season, but that is what you need to do when you make a mistake. How often do we say it? Everyone is going to drop the ball. On occasion, you got to make amends though. You got to turn it right next time you're asked to. And Jordan Pickford pulls off one of the best saves of the save. Buckley sent forward 1-on-1. It should have been a winner. Jordan Pickford. That was an incredible reactionary save to keep it at 2-2 and ensure Forest would get a point. And I will say it once again, this is why I was not getting too hype after 3 straight wins, including a big thrashing of Chelsea. Back-to-back games without a win, 1 point taken from a possible 6. We say it all the time, but consistency is king, and that's the kind of poor form we showed at times last season, well, for pretty much the entirety of the middle part of the season that stopped us from qualifying for a European competition. So, dropped the ball from 2-0 up, drawing the game 2-2, but just like that moment with Jordan Pickford there, it was my mistake. I knew I'd made the error, so for the following game, Spurs away in North London, our 3rd game in a row away from Hillsborough, time to make amends against Tottenham Hotspur. Right from the very first whistle, in attack mode, hunting down loose balls. It was one of those games where it was absolutely tipping it down, and with the weather effects now, it means that any kind of under-hit pass, any lazy half-hearted pass, you can run onto an intercept. Almost got the first goal that way, and then 16 minutes in, once again, Wheeler denied by a great save by Safanov. Fantastic start in North London. All I was missing was the finishing touch. But the effort was there, the hustle was there. I felt very confident at some point. If I keep on playing this way, I will get the goal and I will take the lead. But 10 before the break, Matthias Tell gave Tottenham the lead against a run of play. It's what makes playing against the AI on Ultimate so difficult. You might need 3 or 4 chances to get a goal. They only need the one. It's the French forward who gives Tottenham the advantage, and Spurs lead at the break. But I said to the boys at half-time, guys, we're doing all the right things here. We're playing well. We're looking aggressive. We keep on playing this well. I guarantee you we'll get back in this game. I have no doubt about that. 11 after the restart, Roman Buckley turns his man down the right. Great save by Safanov again, but Bailey Cadamarteri, first to react, turns into rebound. His third of the season already, and Spurs peg back 12 after the restart. Again, one of those games where it wasn't a tactical flaw, it wasn't a lack of effort. I was doing all the right things. Keeper was on fire. Just need to keep on believing eventually I'll get the goal, and we would. And soon afterwards, 14 minutes later, chance to turn the game on its head. Buckley once again causing problems with those 5-star skill moves down the right, rolls through Mason Kirk, and it's an unlikely goal scorer for Sheffield Wednesday as we have the deserved lead. It's not just his first goal of the season, but first goal of the save. Finally, Mason Kirk notches one up and Sheffield Wednesday are in front, and deservedly so. 11 minutes to play, Chalciku heads this brilliant free kick off the line, and Sheffield Wednesday would hold on and get a huge 3 points away in North London for an unlikely hero. Final score, Tottenham 1, Sheffield Wednesday 2, and the win puts us back into second, 1 point behind the front runners Man City after the first 6 games. So great response, and then following that, this was great to see as well. If you read the title, you knew what was going to come at some point. International break coming in mid-October, and it's the first time we see captain, icon, hero, boy wonder Michael Wheeler called up for the England squad. He should have been called up at some point last season. He was second in scoring in the Premier League. He should have got a call up at some point. He didn't. But to start the season off, he's already got 3 goals and he's got his first call up to the England squad as well. I don't know what took Thomas Tuchel long, but better late than never is what I'll say. And Michael Wheeler gets called up to the England squad for the first time. And I have to say, just real briefly on this as we jump into the following game, playing host to Liverpool, I really wish that EA would allow you to track caps and goals on the international stage for your players. Now, I'm not saying there need to be in-depth reports of the international games that get played. I'm not saying we have to have such a massive kind of overhaul of the current international system in career mode, although of course that is something I do want in the future, because as we know, it's very limited and it's, you know, not great, to be honest. It's pretty basic at best, really, but just let me track caps, you know, because you might notice that when a player gets called up to the national team, you don't even know if they've played or not. Even if you read the news article of the score, you might not see if the player got on the pitch or not. So there's no real way of knowing. So we just got the call up there, but there's nothing to suggest that Tuchel might not even play him for England. So it's one thing I really want EA to do. Just let us see if the player gets capped or not. You know, we don't need to see the result, you know, the highlights or whatever. We don't need to see an in-depth look at, you know, who got assists and bookings and whatever else. But just let us know if the player's got capped or not. Wheeler's been called up, but will he get a cap? Well, I don't know. We'll never know. It's really frustrating how there's no way of finding out whether your youth player has finally made his international debut or not. But following game, big one as well. A repeat of the final day last season, and Liverpool were looking for revenge. If you remember, on the final day last season, we went to Anfield and drew, and after Chelsea won, that stopped Liverpool from qualifying for the Champions League. So here at Hillsborough, they were looking for revenge, and they had a great chance to get it as well. I missed a few golden chances. Ironically, a couple brilliant ones with what will be possibly the new England star Michael Wheeler, Mamadashvili denying him twice. And after Florian Wirtz got the opening goal for Liverpool, 6 minutes to go. As I always say, I never sweep anything under the rug in my career modes, man. If I've been embarrassed, you're going to see it. Rodrigo says, Doxy boy, sit down, son. Coming across with the covering defender. He hezzies, he beats Pierce, he makes it 2. It's game over. Final score at Hillsborough. It's a really good game as well, to be fair. Really fun one to play, but it's our second loss already this season, both coming at Hillsborough as well. First against Manchester United, and now against Liverpool as well. Final score 2-0, and a big loss there against a side who we know, if we are to qualify for a European competition, there we go, those will be a rival of ours. Liverpool will definitely be a rival team for us to qualify for Europe next season. So big loss there, especially knowing it came at Hillsborough as well. So big defeat there. Following game, taking on Brighton away at the Emirates. We had a big loss here last season as well in our pursuit of European football, so we were looking for revenge in this game. 19 minutes in, aiming to get back to winning ways here. Wheeler plays a lovely ball through to Roman Buckley, rolls it across, and, well, I have to say, Bailey Cadamarteri, he's a Jamaican international now, so he can't represent England on the international stage anymore. But in the form he's in, Thomas Tuchel must have been thinking, I wish he had not opted to switch nations, because Cadamarteri is looking like my best player this season. Gets the only goal of the game. It's his 4th of the season already. 4 in 8 games to start the campaign off. He's been on fire to begin this season, and we do return to winning ways instantly on the back of the loss to Liverpool. And we know this season we're going to lose, obviously. We know we're going to have setbacks here and there, but unlike last season, that's what I'm going to say to the boys. Listen, unlike last year, when we have a defeat, we've got to bounce back straight away. Last season, it took us way too long to get back to winning ways after losses. This season, not a bad start so far. Only 2 defeats so far, but after both games, we've responded with first a draw and then a win there against Brighton away from home. So, following game, heading into this one, back at Hillsborough, taking on Middlesbrough. So far, only 2 losses this season, both coming in Owlerton. I was not prepared to lose to what is right now the statistically weakest side in the division, newly promoted Middlesbrough at home. 8 minutes in, perfect start. Just denied from a close range, but Oteg Bayo gets our first goal of the game and his first goal of the season as well. Heading in the early corner, and Sheffield Wednesday draw first blood here against the Borough. And to be fair, if we are to be a European team for next season, this is what I'm also going to say as well. We have to win the bankers this year. We have to make sure every time we face a side that is probably going to finish in the bottom 5, bottom 6 places, whether it's home or away, we have to win them. And after how tight it was last season, with places separated by goal difference, this is a chance to run up the score as well. So let's make sure we capitalise. Early goal scored, then right from kickoff, won it straight back, and Edward Myers gets his second of the season and makes first goal of the season and makes it 2-0 11 minutes in. Perfect start at Hillsborough, and we have to be ruthless this year against the sides we are firm favourites against. So perfect start, 3 to go before the break, looking for a chance to make it 3. Michael Wheeler goes down and stays down. Thankfully, would get straight back to his feet, so I knew it was most likely going to be a bruise, but even so, not great to see for the man who's just got, well, probably his first cap for England. I guess we'll never know, but right before the break as the play continued, chipped it through to Bailey Cadamarteri. He thought he'd continue his fantastic start to the season, but the offside flag denies him what would have been our third. It was very tight though. Very, very tight indeed, but correct decision by the linesman in the end. But even so, leading by 2, heading into the break. Really great first half, other than that Wheeler injury. You might notice on the top left just there, I took him off at half-time as well. I knew it was most likely just going to be a bruise, but I'm taking absolutely no chances with Wheeler, especially in a game we'd had full control of, and we're leading by 2. And 4 after the restart, a chance to make it 3, and he might have been denied by the offside flag before the half-time whistle, but he gets our third goal straight afterwards. Bailey Cadamarteri is just on fire. 5 goals in 9 games for Cadamarteri, who's outscoring Michael Wheeler, and right now looking like our best player of the season so far as well. Thankfully, again, Wheeler's injury was just a bruise, and whilst he would miss our game against Brentford in the Carabao Cup in the week, he will return in time for our next Premier League game. But following the game, we did see Edward Myers asking for a new deal. Do you remember recently I was talking about player contracts and how ridiculous they are? Well, fair enough, Myers hasn't had a great start to the season. He's got his first goal of the campaign there, and only an assist as well in his first 9 games. Granted, not a brilliant start for our highest rated player, but yeah, 23 years old, so still incredibly young and not even in his prime yet. 84 overall, so looking like one of the brightest young players, if you can still call him young at 23 years old. I certainly would consider someone 23 to be young now at 33 years old, but only on $5 a week and happy enough to only sign for 20 grand a week. Yeah, I feel like contracts to me, I understand why they do need to be somewhat simplistic to cater for every player of career mode, because as we always say, not everyone wants to play hyper-realistically and with a really tough challenge. Some people just want to, sit down after work or school or uni or whatever and just have a bit of fun, not really care about the realism, just have a sandbox element to the game. That's totally fine, but I would like there to be a toggle when you're setting up a career mode where you can toggle, I guess, more realistic scenarios on and off, if you will. Edward Myers, the player he is right now at 23 years old, 84 overall, looking at one of the brightest prospects in European football, let alone English football, shouldn't just be fine on £5 a week and shouldn't have waited this long to ask for a new deal, and shouldn't be happy only taking a £20 a week salary when you consider inflation and the amount of money that now gets splashed on contracts in modern day football. So yeah, something maybe you should look into in the future. But for the following game, on the back of that contract extension, Brentford, Carabao Cup, again no Michael Wheeler for this one, and in the end, after two brilliant saves and a stalemate of a game, it would go down to penalties. I swear, every single season we have a penalty shootout. We've only won one so far in a save. And it's Doxy boy, isn't it? So it's probably going to stay that way. Yep, first penalty saved from Bailey Cadamarteri. Then Kai Havertz puts Piers Charles off to make it 1-0 Brentford. And already after two penalties taken, I was thinking, forget this. I just can't win penalty shootouts. I just can't do it, man. We did score through Buckley from the following one, but I really needed was a save from Piers. And we'd get it as well. Put Erasmus off, doing a bit of a Kepa Agarizabala kind of bait, if you will, there. And denies him to make it, to keep it at 1-1, sorry. Then we'd make it 2-1 from the third penalty, and I was thinking, wow, how to turn tables, Dwight. We've gone from being a goal down to now a goal up. Brentford would level it, so through 6 penalties, 2 scored each and 1 saved each. But our fourth penalty taken by Chelsea, who missed, advantaged Brentford and a chance for the Bees to surely make it through. Piers Charles, however, had other ideas, denies Alex Baena and keeps it at 2-2. And after George Hurst sends the keeper the wrong way, a chance for Sheffield Wednesday to win a penalty shootout. And you won't see this very often. Charles saving 2 of the first 4 from Brentford. If he could save this one, the Owls would be through to the quarterfinals. Oh, and I went the right way. I just couldn't get gloves on it, man, as it remained at 3-3 going to sudden death. Otegbayo would just about keep us in front from the following penalty. Keeper gets it the right way, but can't get anything on it. So, same situation. Brentford must score in sudden death. Otherwise, we are through to the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup. But I was set the wrong way once again. That's my big problem with penalties, man. Is I do score the majority, but I rarely ever save any more than 1. However, I had saved 2. And after Kirk scored the following one, I thought, Charles has guessed the right way 3 times. He saved 2 of them. Odds are, if I guess the right way again, I'll probably save it, sorry. Brearley stands up to take the next one. Charles dancing on his line and denies him as well. And Sheffield Wednesday are in to the Carabao Cup quarterfinals. Redemption for Piers Charles, who's come under a lot of criticism, and at times deservedly so, sometimes probably a bit unfairly, but he's definitely deserving the champagne and applaud. It's 3 saves in the shootout. Sheffield Wednesday's hero, Sheffield Wednesday's number 1, Sheffield Wednesday into the Carabao Cup quarterfinals, and for the first time in the save, we've reached the last day of a cup competition. It's taken us until season 7, but better late than never. Charles the hero and Sheffield Wednesday advance through to the quarterfinals. Unfortunately, I don't know if we'll be getting through it. It's Arsenal away right now, the only undefeated side in the top tier and top of the table by 2 points as well on Christmas Eve. But that'll do it for today's episode of the Sheffield Wednesday Career, guys. Big fan of watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode featuring that Carabao quarterfinal away at the Emirates. Some more big games in the Premier League as we aim to go top of the table and continue our great starts of the season very soon.